Hello everyone and welcome back to Horizon Zero Dawn. Hello Astrid, welcome to stream. Last time I believe we finished, was it uh, Eleuthia, oh yeah, the Eleuthia 9 site. Um, and did some other things. Um, we're back at Meridian to do the um, Red Maw, or finish up Red Maw's quest line. Then we're going to head up north here to the Bitter Climb for Gaia Prime. And then after Gaia Prime, we should be able to head down here to this bunker to finally unlock the Shield Weaver. And then after we get the Shield Weaver, probably next stream, we'll take a break from main quest lines and just get all the remaining collectibles. And then we'll head north to the Frozen Wilds DLC. Alright. Red Maw, that's right. Now let's go here. But yeah, if you hadn't seen the picture in the Discord, in the photo gallery, I just got Ace Combat 3, the JP version, in the mail today. So I will be setting that up. So once we're done with Ace 2, we'll go into Ace 3 and trying to unlock all the paths. I'm not sure which path we'll go with first. Probably the standard UPEO one. But yeah. And also I will be setting up showcase scripts for each of the PS2 games. Or not PS2 games, PS1 games. So, yay.
How much did Asif pay you?
That sounds like her.
Alright, well, can't just hold off. Have to go in guns blazing, so to speak.
For the fallen!
If you're gonna have a spear, start stabbing people with it, not slashing. Otherwise, it's more like a halberd.
The sun's judgment burns!
Yeah, well, mine just gives you a brief and
This'll put you in your grave.
very severe headache. What's up?
Thank you. I should have seen this coming. Of course he would hire men to keep me from Redmaw. They died for his pride.
Where is Assis now?
He's gone after Redmaw. This way. Hurry!
Why is Assis going after Redmaw alone?
Well, that's easy.
Vanity. He doesn't want to share credit for the kill with his thrush. My sponsor did the same. Went after Redmaw alone out of pride. Even though he knew we needed to unseat Assis.
Alright, if we're going after a Thunderjaw, I'm gonna want my Tear Blast. So I can blow off the whatchamacallits.
I'm not sure where Assis and Redmaw went from here.
I can follow their tracks.
Disfay.
This way. Redmaw destroyed these trees.
I fear we're too late. With Tarkus, I arrived in time to see him die from his wounds. And with my father, I didn't even get that.
Where was Assis when your father passed?
Watching. He became Sunhawk that day. But won't even speak of the event that made it possible. That all changes today. There he is. Redmaw.
Assis is holding his own.
Oh, we'll see about that. Ooh.
Was holding his own. Well, we have our work cut out for us.
Fire away! Bam!
Looking for me.
You see, Assis, you don't fight proud. You fight smart. And while you may not be willing to use the enemy's weapons against them, I, for one, am very okay with it. Well, let's freeze you. Yeah! Weasel. Stubborn little bastard.
Just a little bit more.
Son of a bitch!
Got him.
Ow.
By the sun, we did it.
Yeah, I know it wants me to talk, but I'm looting. Which I think we can all agree, looting your kill is much more important than talking. Alright.
Hello there, beautiful. We make a great team.
And now, you're the Sunhawk.
About that.
Yeah, I guess we better check on the X, Sunhawk. Hey there, buddy. How you doing?
Talana, he's still alive.
Out of the way, Nora. Filth.
You're done. The Lodge is finally free of your influence.
I kept it alive. In dark times.
Well, now you're dead.
No, you buried it. Along with my father's memory.
I should have. I should have let you fight Redmaw first. To soften him up. Damn.
Here lies the Sunhawk of the Hunter's Lodge. It's almost a shame.
Almost.
After all that, you're gonna weep for him.
Oh no. I just wish I could have seen his face when I succeeded him.
Okay then.
Meet me back at the Hunter's Lodge, if you have the time. I have a feeling the new Sunhawk wants to welcome you.
Now, technically speaking, if Aziz did let us take a crack at Redmaw first, he'd never gotten the chance, because unlike Aziz here, this Nora Filth doesn't believe in, you know, fighting fair or with honor or anything like that. This is a machine, it's trying to kill me, I'm gonna try and kill it. I don't care how I bring it down, I'm just gonna bring it down. And as you see, or as you saw, I used Terra Blast arrows to knock its weapons off, freeze bombs to make it brittle, and then I kept shooting its very, very much weak point for massive damage. This dumbass over here was trying to fight it head on by shooting its face with normal arrows. Yet that you realize his face is armored, right? Well, apparently not, because, well, you're dead. But if he let me take a crack at it first, well, the end result would have been Aloy kills the Thunderjaw. Aziz is alive, but he loses out on killing it first and is going to instead try and, well, steal the trophy from Talana. So, he gets credit. Which is actually probably good for us that he decided to take a crack first, because now that he's dead, there's no one standing in the way of Talana's ascent to the throne. And he died in battle. Not in a leadership squabble. He died on the hunt. from the machine he was hunting. That is a completely legitimate death as far as the Hunter's Lodge goes. They're like, oh yeah, you lost. Sucks to be you. That's right, this is Zero Dawn. I don't need to worry about finding a campfire to travel from. Anyway, I think this quote is an extreme paraphrasing of The Art of War, but it also might have been somebody else who quoted it. I don't know who or where it's attributed to, but never interrupt your enemy when they are making or in the process of making a mistake.
There are no shadows under the noonday sun.
Assis made a very big mistake in trying to take on the Thunderjaw first. So it's like, oh, well, go ahead. What's that? You died in the process? Oh, well, sucks to be you. We'll just be taking that trophy now.
Hawk Bradavin Khan Padish, cherished brother, and
The
Sunhawk
Sunhawk
Talavad
is
Khan
waiting for you
Padish,
upstairs.
beloved father. Let their memory and sacrifice be a beacon for all hunters, all people to follow.
Record of Red Maw 2. Amendment to the Record of Red Maw by inquiring Janameden, historian in residence at the Hunter's Lodge. In time, all creatures fall, all legends fade away. Such it was with Red Maw, the deadliest of Thunderjaws. In the summer of the third year of the reign of Sun King Avad, Sunhawk Assis received word of a sighting and set out after the beast. Talana, Hawk of the Lodge, went soon after, quickly followed by her thrush, Aloy of the Nora. Fearing Talana might take Red Maw first and thus supplant him as Sunhawk, Assis resorted to treachery, laying a trap for the Hawk. 9 mercenaries ambushed her, but aided by her thrush, Talana defeated them all. 6 shot, 3 blasted. Hawk and Thrush continued after Red Maw, arriving just as the legendary monster took Sunhawk Assis out of the fight. Lash of the Tail. Working together, the two women finally defeated Red Maw in a fight for the ages. Alas, the wounds that Assis sustained were mortal. Crushed internal organs, evidence of bowel failure. He shit himself before he died. And he did not live to see Talana take his place as Sunhawk. So ends the Record of Red Maw, the most murderous of machines. I wonder if Talana kind of convinced the scribe there to add in the evidence of bowel failure. Just as one little final fuck you. I mean, I totally approve of it, but, you know.
Look, a memorial to my father and brother, and all the men who died in the Sun Ring. You made this possible, Aloy. Thank you.
So, what's it like to be Sunhawk?
It feels like sunrise after a long night. I'm in your debt. You'll always have a special home here, if you want it.
What happens now, in the lodge?
As Sunhawk, I've made sure we invite prospective members based on ability and drive, regardless of Carja blood. This lodge will be a stale bastion of the old regime no longer.
Well, I mean, the way I see it is admitting people based on skill can only increase the quality of the Hunter's Lodge in general. Because you're going to have better people competing against each other. And add to the fact that they're not all coming from the same fighting doctrine. Now you're going to have Karja learning from, say, Oseram. Or, I would say Nora, but not a lot of Nora are going to join the Hunter's Lodge just because of the way their religion works. But Utaru, sure. Maybe even after the events of Forbidden West, maybe even Tenakth. Who knows?
What was that prayer you were saying when I first came in? I didn't hear all of it.
O great sun, make treaty with the moon to give our fallen quiet rest. Furnish them with the armor of your brazen heat. Give them shafts of sunlight for spears. Illuminate the path to the skies for each one of them. Hawk Gravid Khan Morza, Hawk Sarav Khan Pir, Hawk Usalin Karn Jagir, Hawk Kulasiv Khan Savali, Hawk Bradavin Khan Padish, cherished brother, and Son Hawk Talavad Khan Padish, beloved father. Let their memory and sacrifice be a beacon for all hunters, all people to follow.
Well,
Well, congratulations, Talana. I should get going.
Thank you, Aloy, despite the Nora. May you always take your prey.
Alright, well, with Redmaw fallen, that was pretty much our last side quest in the base game. I mean, we still have vantage points, metal flowers, and I think a couple Banuk statues left. Yeah, we got one Banuk statue left. 3 vantage points and a shit ton of flowers left, so. But we can do that later. Now, it's time to go to the Bitter Climb. And here in the Bitter Climb, we will learn what happened to Apollo. Because, as we saw in Eleuthia, Apollo didn't activate for some reason. And the servitors were forced to release the first generation before they were able to get to Apollo because the doors never opened. And by the time they were released, they were young adults. And given certain evidence, or not evidence, but records from there, they were probably of childbearing age. So the second generation probably arrived soon after. And the reason why they were released, well, food stores were empty. So the first generation set out into a brand new world, only knowing the fundamentals. That being language, likely English, basic math and what things were called, like natural things were called. And maybe rudimentary survival. Um, things turkey eat, or if you hunt turkey and cook it, you can eat it. Or, basic farm theory of, put seed in ground, seed becomes plant. That sort of thing. But they didn't have access to Apollo. They didn't have access to humanity's cultural and higher level knowledge. And Gaia Prime, or the remnants thereof, may well hold the answer as to why.
The way to the mountain will be hard. Ferocious machines prowl every step of the climb.
More corrupted?
Not corrupted, but they will not tolerate humans.
So what else is new?
I think it eventually says that Sylens put the handholds here himself.
Stalkers in the open. Watchers on the other side.
If I recall, stalkers don't like getting shocked. Damn it, too far away. Alright, first stalker down. Sit down. Alright, should be all the stalkers. I think there are only two. Oh, there are three. That was the wrong arrow type. Alright, that should be all of them.
Keep that for later.
Alright. Okay, so it's on top. What's there? There's handles.
Search for melted snow. Do they think they're guarding Gaia?
I doubt they think at all. More like an instinct, gathering them to her grave.
Well, you know what they all those machines don't like? Fire.
There wasn't a warning.
Just let the fire do its job. Another Ravager. Another Glintock. Just all that ticking. Down it goes. Oh, I got a couple of watchers. Okay. Watcher down.
Looks like you're giving away the hunt.
Alright, that's probably all of them. I'm just waiting for the Stormbird to show up. I don't remember if there is a Stormbird, but given that there's this nice area right here, I'm willing to bet there's a Stormbird. Which is both my favorite and least favorite monster, or Reaper machine. Favorite because it's a giant bird and I like flying things. But least favorite because I don't like to fight them. Because it flies like really high. Yep, there it is. Alright, let's get the rope caster.
Guessing that I'm almost there.
Correct.
Down here.
Biggest garden of drought Gaia.
Whew. Fortunately, I know how to fight those things. It's just not pleasant to do so. While we're here, let's get this vantage point. Yep.
I'd have to ditch something.
King's Peak.
A pocket shitstorm tour, A10. So here's where I learned how the world would end. My second apocalypse in a year. Looks like there's a lot of construction going on now. Why would that be?
Alright, a notebook. King's Peak. Hi, Ma. I was surprised when FAS sent me out here. And not just because the meeting I was going to be held in real space. I was surprised to discover that anyone FIS knew I still knew I existed. When I returned to work after treatment, HR informed me that I'd been reassigned to the Vantage Project. It was exactly the professional death sentence I was expecting. The career equivalent of getting sent into a red zone without an environmental suit. Everyone knew Vantage was one of those doomed projects that FAS kept around solely for the purpose of assigning dead-enders to them, especially the head cases, like me, who couldn't be summarily fired for fear of parity litigation. Month by month, management would pile losers on a lost cause, then cancel the project and lay everyone off. A ship of fools sunk with a single torpedo. Ain't wrongful dismissing if it's downsizing. I had nothing better to do, so I spent my time studying the tech. Chip design was my forte, but I knew enough to admire what the engineers had accomplished with the Eternity chip. Stored data was guaranteed to last 50,000 years or more without degradation. As for Vantage itself, the project was little more than a failed marketing plan. The idea was to promote tech by burying unlocked Eternity chips at scenic locales around the world, public domain time capsules, where enthusiasts could cache date-locked data. The project got as far as developing the spikes, portable drill applicators, then to sink the chips, then stalled when Grass Heckle encapsulates came in the market and stole Eternity's thunder. Anyway, I'd been in Vantage 3 weeks when FAS unexpectedly sent me out here for a real space meeting. Me, a dead-ender working a doomed project, dispatched to high security FAS R&D site inside Kings Peak. Didn't make any sense. Security put me in a small conference room and told me to wait. It was downright claustrophobic. Dim lights, bad ventilation. More like an interrogation room for one of those 90s cop vids. But really got my attention was the noises coming through the walls. The non-stop bang and clatter of the construction bots. Building something deep in the mountain. Something big. The door opened and some of the deuce-wearing FAS badges file in. I recognized one of them. Brad Andek, Military Division Replications Engineer I met when I first joined the company. But I don't think he recognized me. He stayed at the back of the room the whole time, looking distraught. I was about to ask what the hell was going on when a woman wearing a hijab walked in. She didn't introduce herself, but she didn't have to. It was Samina Ibaji, former lead activist, or archivist of the Odyssey. Architect of the entire Homer project. Not a single celebrity by any means, but if you grew up following the Odyssey project like I did, you knew her on sight. Ibaji sat down and started asking extremely precise questions about the upper range tolerances of the Eternity chips. And she asked me to speculate about the feasibility of various upgrade paths. The interview lasted maybe 10 minutes, whereupon she thanked me for my time and left. Everyone else filed out after her. Security came for me a few minutes later and escorted me back to my vert. The whole way back to FAS, I kept trying to figure out what had just happened. What was Samina Ibaji doing at a classified fair R&D site, asking me questions about Eternity tech? Didn't add up. By the time I landed, I knew I wasn't going to give up until I puzzled it out. Worst that could happen is I get fired, and that was going to happen anyway. It took a couple days and some geowork, but I got a fix on Brad and Dak soon enough. He was going to a different bar every night, drinking to the point of blacking out. I shadowed him until I managed to proxy his focus and dupe his net protocols. I didn't find anything strange in his financial records or media patterns. I was starting to think I wasted my time. Then I accessed his Dreambox account and found the journal he'd been keeping the past few weeks. It was all there. How the world would end. My first thought was, well, at least my mom didn't live to see this. My second thought was that nothing mattered anymore. Which made it pretty obvious that I should, and I'm not going to finish that sentence because I don't want to break TOS. Suffice it to say, he decided to alt-tab out of God's Minecraft server. And I've got a phone call to answer. I'll be right back. All right. Also, did I mute myself for that? I mean, it's nothing important if you heard it, but... Well, I guess I'll have to find out when the archive comes out.
Guy's sacrifice. It did this. Cracked the inside of the mountain like it was an egg.
Yes, yes. Quickly now. I've prepared the way ahead for you.
So you've been in here before.
To a point.
No, Ross, we have not passed the part where Ted was being Ted. We just arrived to that, well, to that dungeon.
You made a climbing path for me, but left an army of machines for me to deal with?
Since when were machines any obstacle for you? If you could fly, I wouldn't have bothered with the climbing path either.
Don't look down.
Oh, shit! Yeah, I know why you're being vague. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, I'll be right back. My girls are meowing, so I'm gonna go see what they want. Alright, I'm back. Apparently I made the grave mistake of not giving Princess Macy her stream tax of scritches. So she was announcing her displeasure.
You made a climbing path for me, but left an army of machines for me to deal with?
Since when were machines any obstacle for you? If you could fly, I wouldn't have bothered with the climbing path either.
Damn it.
I guess I didn't need to climb that. Oh well. Silence, you're kind of a dick. Yeah. Kinda.
This is exactly the kind of place I expected to find you in, Silence.
Thank you. It's one of many workshops I've constructed over the years. For years, I tried to get through this hatch. I drilled, I burned, I blasted. But we both know that you won't have any trouble getting through.
You make it sound like I should apologize.
Not at all. It never occurred to me that the way through would not be with force, but with a key. A key in human form. The failure of imagination was mine, not yours.
Alright.
Looks like you've spent a lot of time here.
19 years ago, a great explosion destroyed this mountain. Gaia's death, your birth. The echo could be heard as far as the claim. Ash darkened the skies. How they fretted in Meridian as they tried to read this omen. The crater burned for weeks, but when it cooled, I was the first to behold what lay within. Over time, the machines closed ranks to protect it. Useful. Soon, no one dared to come here. Except me.
Alright, how about repairing Gaia?
In her message, Gaia said we could restore her, but after seeing the damage, how could that be?
She said any effort to repair her must come after Hades is destroyed. I concur. Rebuilding the terraforming system now might allow Hades to use it as a weapon. Because of Gaia's sacrifice, it has been forced to search for means that are less convenient.
But do you think it's even possible to restore Gaia?
You know what the Cauldrons are capable of. How they fabricate any technology necessary to create a machine. By the same principle, it should be possible to replicate every technology necessary to repair Gaia. But that would take years. And we're counting the time we have left by the hour.
Alright, so why aren't you actually
I thought
here?
you might actually be here this time. Actually, here.
Why? My presence is unnecessary. You don't need my help to pass through this door. You were the one born to do this, not me.
Alright. Well, I'm going in.
It's time for me to head in.
Yes. When you find the Master Override, you will gain the power to defeat Hades. Everything depends on you.
Genetic identity confirmed. Entry authorized. Greetings, Dr. Sobek. You are clear to proceed.
Alright, now there is the final power cell somewhere in this dungeon. We make sure we find it.
Logging arrivals. Shan Margot.
Welcome to Frozen Hell. Population 10.
11 counting Gaia.
Don't count your chicken embryos before they incubated, hon. She's still firing up. Be a while before you eat that omelet.
I'm vegan, Travis. You think we'd worked in the same secret base long enough for you to notice?
We weren't scheduled to shack up here for another 3 weeks. You realize I just lost 350 kilos of pre-code smug comics in transit.
Wait, actual physical media? Why didn't you have it digitized?
Can't beat the feel of physical media on your fingers. And in here, we ain't gonna be touching a whole lot else.
Figured I was gonna pass the time archiving them. What about you?
Me? Work, I guess. My task queue stretches out for like 3 years. There's a lot of sharp edges to round off. After that, I hadn't really thought about it.
Oh, you will. You're what, 30? Reckon you'll be the one turning the lights off at the end. Food for thought, huh, vegan?
This sucks forever.
Nah, not forever. Just the rest of your life.
I mean, as crude as Travis was, he's got a point. Once the bunker's sealed in, there wasn't a lot left for them to do. And some of them were quite young. So, how would you pass the time? Also, physical media is so much better than digital media.
Find your footing.
Not just in what he was looking at, but in general. Because physical media does not require an online connection. Yeah, it also doesn't require power. Well, some of it does. Like, disc media kind of does require power, but books, yeah, no, that doesn't. You just need to be able to see it. All right. Okay, I think it's in here. Yep, there it is.
This should be the last power cell I need to get to that ancient armor I found.
So, when we're done here, we can grab the shield weaver.
Guess that's my way across. It's, held like this for 19 years, right?
Well,
Don't answer.
I'm surprised there's still power in this facility to begin with. Because Gaia blew up the power core. So there shouldn't be any power here whatsoever. Oh well. Maybe like there's a backup generator or something. Ow!
Not this way. Maybe further up the shaft. This must have been where they lived. What's left of it. Once this was all enclosed by rock and metal.
Record. I just woke up. I see the numbers, but can't make it.
Alright, Ross.
I was dreaming of.
Thanks for
I was
dropping
giving
by.
a lecture in Q Hall. Maybe it was something more shamanistic. I don't know. And An audience of shadowy faces under a blank open sky. I told them the world ended with a bang. A plague of robots. The last humans. We went out, not with a whimper, but a whisper. You know, in caves, ending like we started, huddled around a flickering glow. The heads of state, the Fortune 5s, the leaders, and lottery winners, and life cults, all of them buried in their little shelters. Some believing they'll live it out some way, somehow, or Elysium, or us here at Gaia Prime, no different. A multitude of tiny societies taking hold, flaring, dying. Some will be beautiful, some horrific. None of them matter. Short-term civilizations. One last gasp. One last gasp before the long-held breath. Before I wake up, I know the audience is gone. I'm talking to myself. To a quiet planet. A barren sphere. Just Gaia. And her long, long dreaming. I hope she won't be lonely.
Well, that was dark. I mean, it's kind of an apocalyptic log, so kind of would expect it to be a little dark.
Evacuation happens so fast. No time to think things through. No time for goodbyes. There were lines in the medical ward. I told Tom Paik I'd be with him when he went under. But there was one last shipment of Paradiseidae zygotes I could get processed if I rushed. I'm still angry at him for forcing me to choose. Angry at myself for... well... he died alone, and I didn't get the bloody birds of paradise saved either. All the time left in the world now to think. Gaia Prime's locks are sealed. Elysium sealed up, safe and sound. A distance of miles, but it might as well be on the other side of the galaxy. All the betas and gammas and support staff living their lives. If I hadn't been an alpha... if things had gone differently, I could have been there. Instead, I'm spending the rest of my unnatural life in here with people I don't even like. And without the one I would have gladly spent my life with. Given a chance. 2 hours since I signed off on the final executables, and I'm already a bitter old man bitching to his focus. There's a thought for future generations.
One thing that I do like about Zero Dawn is the storytelling of the old ones and how the various people reacted to the news that, yeah, you're gonna die and there's nothing you can do about it. The best you can do is build something to make sure that humanity can come back. But the old ones aren't portrayed as... well, some of them are portrayed as villains. Some are portrayed as heroes, but most of all, they're portrayed as human. They're not perfect. They're flawed.
Elizabeth's room. I know it. She didn't even get a chance to unpack. These are her journals. Elizabeth's journals. And they're all destroyed?
Scan them. The Focus can rebuild them, but the process is slow. To us, it seems a powerful device, but its engine is tiny and limited.
How slow?
Days, weeks, years. Concern yourself with stopping Hades and extending the future, and you might live long enough to hear them.
File damage under repair. It's kind of easy to forget that the Focuses, while powerful, are tiny little things. And that they do have their limits.
This is Charles Ronson. I'm logging this 6 hours after final deployment of Gaia Prime. This morning, an access port seal malfunctioned. Gaia Prime's port seals were designed to close with a seam of less than 2 millimeters. But this one closed with a 10 millimeter gap. Enough for an energy signature to bleed through. Enough for the swarm to detect this facility. Enough for Gaia to be discovered and destroyed. Enough to end the future we worked so hard to make possible. Unless the hatch servos were manually re-engaged from the outside. I'm now switching to a recording of the event.
Well, I'm not going out there. Not what I signed up for.
Either we send someone out, or all of this was for nothing.
It should be Liz's decision.
So when is she going to get here?
She said 5 minutes. You don't think...
Oh no. Okay, everyone. I've repaired the seal. Gaia?
Seal closure at 1.4 millimeters. Confirmed.
Elizabeth, no. We'll find a way to bring you back in.
It's not gonna happen. The swarm's too close. Really. It's alright. Gaia's complete. She'll take care of things from here on out. That's what she does.
Not like this. There's so much we...
Guys, you know me.
You're back for 5 more minutes. Oh
I'm no
boy.
good at endings. At letting things end, so, let's not.
So, happy trails, Liz. And, see you around.
Yeah. Take care of each other, alright?
Liz.
I'm okay with this. I want to go home. Goodbye.
That was the last transmission of Elizabeth Sobeck. She gave everything for the hope of life on this planet. And we are all in her debt.
I hate goodbyes. Yeah, Elizabeth went out knowing that she ensured the future for the next generation.
Aloy?
She's gone. Really gone.
You knew she couldn't have survived, Aloy. And her achievements were beyond exceptional.
While her people bickered, she was the one who took responsibility. The only one who could.
She was better than them.
That's not what I said.
She was. You shouldn't be afraid to admit it.
You think she was better because she was smart. Because she designed Zero Dawn, but you missed the point.
Oh yeah, no, the
What
whole
made her
5
great
minutes thing was
that she
definitely a
willing to
ruse.
sacrifice herself For others. For everyone who would come later.
No. She couldn't let her creation fail. You're confusing will for sentimentality.
You're wrong. Remember, she knew it wasn't enough for Gaia to think. She taught Gaia to feel. To care, to sacrifice, to believe in life. Enough to fight against hopelessness. If it wasn't for that sentimentality, life would have ended. You and I would never have existed.
Your argument is sound. I'm sorry for your loss.
She said she wanted to go home. Maybe.
What?
Nothing. It's time to go on.
Yeah, Elizabeth deliberately said, yeah, give me 5 minutes and I'll come up with an idea, when she already knew what she was going to be doing. She would go out there, fix it herself. And I can't blame her, not only because, you know, she did the thing that needed to be done, but also she was more or less spared of wasting away after the end. She chose to go out as a heroic sacrifice.
Hello, Margot. How are you holding up?
Dr. Ronson, I've been getting a lot of messages, unsolicited messages from Ted.
Margot, I'm sorry. With Liz gone, we've got no one to run interference with him. I'll talk to Ted. He mostly wants updates, constant updates, hundreds of updates on things he knows nothing about. Liz used to field all of his crap.
He doesn't understand the systems at all. That was kind of by design. But he's getting pretty sketchy with me.
We just have to keep him happy. Liz always said keep him happy.
Are you kidding? You ever hear how she talked to him?
She was managing him, Margot.
I mean, maybe I should ignore him. He's buried in his pyramid with the Hola Hola girls and Panta Antimod cuckoos. What can he do?
What can he do, huh? I don't know. That sounds like famous last words to me.
You'd hate it, Liz, but I wrote you a eulogy. I had to try to express all your children. After all Apollo has taught them, they'll think they know everything. But they have to understand what you did for them. How you loved the whole world so much. With an intensity that was dazzling. Bruising. And in the end, it killed you. Or you died for it. Different perspectives. No one could keep up with you, live up to you. I don't know, maybe if I hadn't taken that postdoc in Joburg, I'm glad you shot down the Lightkeeper protocol in the end. I don't think I could have taken seeing another one of you. I mean, Elizabeth Sobek. There's only one. I miss you.
All right.
Look, Liz, you're a pretty stand-up gal. I'm sorry you died. If you had a home to go to, I hope you got there first. But this monument Ronson's made to you? Kinda creepy if you ask me. Rest in peace, Liz. God knows you earned it.
Yeah, it hit everyone hard.
Hell, Liz. I know you're never gonna hear this. That's not the point. You, you got to play the savior and the martyr all at once this time. Great work.
And that's what you took away from that. Okay. Ted being Ted. Yeah. Well, we're about to find out about his possibly worst deed.
What are we gonna plug into their heads, Les? A whole lot of history? A whole lot of so-called truth? A whole lot of noise? It's not pablum, Les. It's poison.
Yeah. Ted is worried about his, how future generations will look back in the extinction event and realize that he was the one that made it. Whereas Harris was like, yeah, I doomed, or I sent billions to their deaths to buy months so that future generations could come back. I don't want to be forgiven. I don't want the record to be sanitized. I want people to know all the war crimes and how much blood is on my hands. And given that we've already crossed the Godzilla threshold, I would say that Harris's actions were completely and 100% justified. And without Harris's decisions and, well, for lack of a better term, sacrifices, this current generation wouldn't be around. Because only through Operation Enduring Victory did Zero Dawn have a prayer. Well, Harry's is just like Dinobot. He's like, tell my story to those who wish. Tell it completely and truly. The good deeds and the bad. And let the rest be forgotten.
There's another section at the back of the crater. Looks like it survived the blast.
Because it was armored. You found the control room.
I'm on my way.
There's actually a trope for that. It's called Be All My Sins Remembered.
I've been taking a hard look at the project. In the end, it's simple. It's clean. It's clear. Erasure. Addition. By. Subtraction. I can make it better, Liz. With a single stroke. Make it all go away.
I really don't like the direction this is going.
Looks like Aloy agrees with you, Ross.
When I opened the hatch, the air rushed in from this side.
Because there was none inside the chamber.
But the alphas were in there.
And that's exactly why they're all relatively preserved. They're in a vacuum. No decomp in a vacuum.
Unlocked out of core control. Alpha clearance overridden. What the hell is Omega clearance?
Oh no.
Alpha personnel. Sorry to alarm you, but I need you to listen, okay? To what I'm about to say. This isn't easy. See, please, stop trying to access the system, okay? See, what this is about is, I said stop trying to access the goddamn system. What I'm trying to say is, I can't stop thinking about the ones who come after us. Those innocents. Those blameless men and women. We're gonna give them knowledge? Like it's a gift?
Ted. We've talked about this before. Apollo has 3,000 plus fail-safe conditions.
It's not a gift, it's a disease. They're the cure, and we're gonna give them the disease. Our disease? No, we can't. And it's not too late. If we're willing to sacrifice.
Ted, it doesn't need to be like this.
It already is, Samina. I did it 3 minutes ago. I've purged Apollo. It's gone. All of it. Every copy.
A sacrifice? It's not a sacrifice, it's cultural obliteration, you crazy bastard! Millennia of culture.
I'm sorry. Really, I am. But sometimes, to protect innocence, innocents have to die.
Emergency alert. Captain House.
Yeah. Silence is going to have some pretty strong words for Ted Farrow as well, Ross.
He killed them all.
So this is why. This is why we were trapped in benighted ignorance for an innocent future. Blameless men. He never saw the slaughter in the Sun Ring. Everything these people achieved, all the knowledge of the old ones, evaporated, turned to dust, scattered to the void, like the Alphas themselves.
No. Not a void. When the hatch unsealed and scattered their ashes on the wind, it took them out of the world they made.
Yeah.
The world we're living in. It's a monument to what they died trying to accomplish.
A monument to oblivion.
Not oblivion, silence. Hope.
Well, there's the Master Override. I would try and get revenge for the Alphas. But, unfortunately, Ted's long gone.
So small.
Now all you have to do is kill Hades with it.
Well, we got everything we need here. Time to head back. We'll make the spear.
Try not to fall to your death. The master override doesn't override gravity.
Silence. Which deity did I piss off enough to be stuck with you?
You're here.
For a moment.
What?
Our journey together has come to an end, Aloy. But before I go, I think I owe it to you to tell you the rest of the story.
Go on.
Some time ago, I admitted that I'd been involved with the Eclipse. But I never told you the full extent of my culpability. The truth is, I was there at the beginning. I found Hades, Aloy, buried on that mountain, trapped in that shattered titan. And I served it.
What?
It promised knowledge and delivered such knowledge you have no idea.
And in exchange?
I helped create the Eclipse. Helped it build a cult, an army to do its will.
Why are you telling me this now?
Because your success depends on knowing this. When I found Hades, the first thing it wanted to know about was the Spire. Not Meridian. The Spire. Now why would that be?
The Spire was created by Gaia.
Which part of Gaia?
Minerva. Its code-breaking module. Gaia built spires to transmit the codes that deactivated the Pharaoh robots, shut down their biomatter conversion systems. Hades wants to send a new transmission. To wake the machines, so they can devour the world all over again.
Yes. Based on what we've learned, that's my conclusion as well.
So the Eclipse. The robots they've resurrected. They're just a means to an end. An army to capture the Spire.
Yes. So Hades can
It was probably a fusion reactor. Cold fusion, probably.
I want you to tell me everything. Hades, the Eclipse. Everything.
It's a long story, Aloy.
Then get started.
It began with a focus, recovered from an ancient ruin, as yours was so many years ago. In my case, the device was heavily damaged. There was just a flicker of life in it. I spent weeks studying it, attempting repairs, until finally, I succeeded. A whole new dimension of perception revealed, right before my eyes. That's when I detected it. A faint signal. Out there, something was searching, just like I was.
A real kindred spirit.
I followed the signal to its source. A shattered titan, buried in the jungles of the Jewel.
So you thought it was a Titan? An old war machine?
I didn't know what to think. I'd seen such wreckage before. The Grave Horde, for example. But this was different. This was not quite dead. It couldn't speak when I found it, until my repairs gave it a voice. So began an exchange of knowledge. It wanted to know everything about our world, its tribes and machines. But the Spire was always its foremost concern.
The Spire, huh?
What did it want to know about the Spire?
Its precise location. The surrounding geography. who controlled the land. Meanwhile, Hades revealed to me many of the intricacies of ancient technology. It bid me to recover and repair more focuses. Before long, I had a couple dozen up and running.
Enough to equip a small army.
The commanders of one, anyway. I didn't care. I was learning so much. Physics, calculus. You have no idea.
Why the Karja?
And the Shadow Karja? How did they become involved?
The Karja Civil War was a happy coincidence. A perfect opportunity.
An opportunity? That's what it was to you?
Yes. Overnight, half the tribe was in exile, desperate to win back Holy Meridian. Their religion made them easy to manipulate. All I had to do was present Hades as the buried shadow of their mythology. So yes, it was an opportunity. I arranged for High Priest Bahavas to meet with Hades. Helis was there as well. And so the eclipse was born. Anything to win back Holy Meridian.
But Hades didn't care about Meridian. And neither did you.
We live in a world of fallen cities and vanished tribes. What were a few more? Besides, I was too busy setting up the cult's focus network to Hades' specifications. A thrilling technical challenge, especially with the alterations I included of my own design.
The ability for you to spy on them.
Yes. I may have been foolish enough to serve Hades, but I was never so foolish that I trusted it. I installed what the ancients used to call a back door in the network. Secret access, empowering me to monitor all activity and communications.
Well, why'd you betray him? Hi, Floof!
What made you turn on Hades? It certainly wasn't your conscience.
Actually, I was troubled the first time I saw the Eclipse raise an ancient war robot. With my technology. I questioned Hades about its intentions.
A little late.
Indeed. I'd already outlived my usefulness. When I completed work on the Focus Network, Hades summoned me to receive my reward. The next moment, I heard it broadcast my kill order. I've been a fugitive ever since.
Well, when did you find out about me?
So when did I come into this? Our path together?
When Olin stumbled on you. System threat detected. That got my attention. A kill order against a savage Nora girl? Why would Hades bother with that? But then I saw that this Nora girl was wearing a focus, and bore an uncanny resemblance to a great scientist of the old world. Helis moved quickly. I thought you were dead. But then I detected your focus inside the Nora Mountain. The more I observed you, the more convinced I became of your extraordinary nature and usefulness. Through you, I could finally discover the secrets of the Earth. I vowed to do everything I could to ensure your success. The rest, as they used to say, is history.
Is there anything you won't do for knowledge?
The things you've done in the pursuit of knowledge, Silence. Pure recklessness.
Aloy, this wasn't a confession to elicit your judgment.
You're getting it anyway.
I've done all I can. From here on out, the rest is up to you. Take my lance. Fit the Master Override to it, and you have a means of injection.
Then I just need to get close enough to Hades' skull to stab it in?
Exactly.
Oh, no problem. Silence! Where will you go?
Elsewhere. And everywhere. There's so much more to discover before the world ends.
And all this?
I leave it to you, of course. As it turned out, it was yours all along. I was merely trespassing.
Yeah, I don't trust him. Like, at all. Alright.
They're coming. Preparations are complete. Ah, Lucent Bahavas. Behold, as I promised you.
What manner of great machine is this? I've never seen such a thing. Stay! Stay your ground, Karja in shadow!
Incorrect. Bow before the buried shadow.
The buried shadow, I don't understand.
Did Ahriman understand the glint hawk that perched upon the alight?
It speaks scripture.
Ahriman followed the shadow cast from the spire.
To the mesa where Holy Meridian was founded.
You will follow the shadow once more.
I am a righteous man, chosen of the sun. But in times of need, the powers of shadow can accomplish what the sun alone cannot. Will you return to us what is ours, O Shadow of Prophecy?
An army is required. Obey, and Meridian is yours.
Of our obedience you can be certain.
Oh!
Task is complete. Yes. The focus network is active, built to your specifications. Check it yourself if you must. I'll wait. But I remind you of the reward you've been withholding. Quantum processing? Data has been compiled. Volume too great for transfer. No. Inconvenient for me. Come before me. You shall receive your reward. Very well. Helis. Threat detected inside Eclipse.
Speak its name, O Shadow, and it will die.
You will eliminate this one. Silence.
Silence. Yes. A truth whispered at night is seen in the day. He was never one of us. It will be done.
Oh boy. It's almost like maybe you should make a deal with the devil.
It was you, wasn't it? Entity is not known. I'm called Silence. And you are. I don't think you'd have called out if it wasn't something you wanted. You called, I responded. Will you tell me your name? Hades. You are a creation of the ancients. A war machine. Divine timeline. Time? Ah. It is the 13th king of the Karja Sundom's reign. Divine Karja. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Were you created by the ancients? I wonder how long you waited here, buried, until I chanced upon you. How long you'd have to wait for another. You're obviously very powerful, but you're not going to get anywhere without me. Titan Flame merely houses intellect. Define Karja. Now that's more like it.
Well, a Faustian bargain. Because those always end up well. Anhydrate. Alright, so there is one more side quest that we need to do. Well, technically two. I'm not worried about the Weapons of the Lodge. But we're going to be going here.
I have to tell Avad that the Eclipse are ready to strike. After what happened with Dervahl, I know he'll defend the city. But the Spire...
Time to get my favorite armor of the game, both in functionality and looks. Fine. And that would be the shield weaver. Now can I? Yeah, okay.
Easier when I was a kid.
Sobek Journal 11/1964. Just wrapped inspection of the Gaia Prime site. Construction's well underway. Reactor installed. Plans for control room remind me of Starship bridges on those cheesy old sci-fi vids. Living spaces for alphas already completed. Prefab modules. Fingers crossed we've never had to seal ourselves in here. Not that Elysium sounds much better. Spent last week at the Bryce site, designating ZD project labs, drawing up protocols. The base we're repurposing was huge. Plenty of room for workspaces and residence blocks. The work crew's already set up my office/lab. Not a fan of the glass wall. Guess Murray's intention was to ensconce me as the all-seeing presence. Ugh. Opposite effect. Makes me feel watched, on display. Tempted to paint over it. Harry's recorded his presentation yesterday. Suitably bleak. Scheduled to record mine Friday. As soon as reception, lounge, holo theaters, and first residence block at ZD site are finished, we'll start processing the candidates being held outside Tucson. 27 already. Extraction teams are prioritizing Pac-Rim and Aussie candidates. How scared and confused they must be. Snatched stuff off the street, carted across the world, being held in cells. Here's hoping they understand once they see the big picture. Gonna catch a few hours of sleep here and then fly back to the ZD site. Hare's promised delivery of QB lattices by noon. I expect Mark 1 will take 2 weeks to machine, assemble, and test. I aim to launch Gaia at 0.6 T grounding. From there, I'll spin her up past 1.0 T. Wonder how long it'll take to break the 1.38 T record. MIE can go hang. Sleep. The reason why they're probably focusing on Pacific Rim and Australian candidates first was that's where the swarms began. So they had to get those guys quick before Oceania was overrun. Whee! Splash.
Those clamps have the armor locked in place. Maybe there's a way to power up the mechanism, release the clamps.
Yoink.
Only 2 more. Just one more.
Yoink.
There we go. The last one.
Okay, so
All powered up. Now to get the dials in position. There must be some kind of
90.
code.
270. 360. 450. 630.
Did it.
There we go.
Let's have a... Alright. Now let's see what we can do with this material.
The Shield Weaver. Ultra Reef progress. From Major Garrow to General Aaron Harry's Ultra Reef progress. General, you want fast, cheap, and good, and that's what we're going to deliver. By using flexible nanofiber weave instead of plating, enhancing protection with a 400 EV hardlight microprojector, we've reduced our testing cycle from weeks to days, and I'm confident we can get the suit out by next month. With enough production to cover dozens of elite units at least. Better yet, it'll be half the weight and half the cost and offer twice the mobility. All we need is the balance of our funding and a few more techs and another experienced test subject. I know resources are stretched to the breaking point, but any more delays will jeopardize the schedule, so please advise ASAP. May God be with you and Jane in these dark times. Semper Fi, Major Garrow. Alright, I know where General Harry's came from. Harry's isn't Army or Air Force. He was a Marine. Which completely explains his character. Alright, but let's get our new armor. The Shield Weaver. I love the Shield Weaver. Alright. Not just because it's, you know, got a shield, but also I just like the way it looks. We got a bit more time, so I'm going to go ahead and try and get some of the collectibles that we still have left. Like these. Just gonna deactivate that. Oh no, the bandits are getting attacked by the machines. Anyway, let's go get that metal flower. And the Shield Weaver here gives me an overshield on top of my health. And normally, the Shield Weaver can't be modified with coils. However, thanks to a mod, that is no longer the case. I've got the resist ranged, resist melee, resist fire, and resist shock, fire, and freeze. So even if the shield goes away, I'm not... Because normally, it used to be, if the shield went bye-bye, you didn't have armor. The shield was your armor. That's like the sound it makes when you run with it on.
It's heavy. World's going light.
There it is.
Might regret this.
All right. A wind sways the pines and below, not a breath of wild air. Still as the mosses that glow on the flooring and over the lines of the root here and there. The pine tree drops its dead, there quiet as under the sea. Overhead, overhead, rushes life in a race, as the clouds chase, and we go, and we drop like the fruits of the tree, even we, even so. Alright. Well, let's go get that one. What's up? Alright. Yeah, we go the right way. Okay. Down and down and down we go. Don't ask me why setting them on fire still works when they're in the water. The sky's face has turned dark. Don't believe. A cloud has come. In the garden, Snow changed the raven to falcon of white. Oh, what designs might the magician of cold display? Like a mirror, the page of water is bound in ice. Ow, you asshole. Would you stop thrashing about? Alright. Well, let's head up this way. Is that a fish? Huh. Well, I did that settlement, unlock that fast travel, save, and then it'll be time for me to get some food before Ace Combat 4. Alright. Excuse me. Well, that will be all for today. Well, for this stream. In about an hour or so, we'll be back live with Ace Combat 4. The Road to Ace. And I know the schedule said 5, but I'm gonna need till 5:30. So I will see you guys in about an hour. Take care. And if I don't see you, have a good night, everybody.